Okay, so Sonic Racing Crosswords has been officially released, and I've been playing this game a lot. I first played it when Sega and Sonic Team launched the open network test. Then I played a little single-player demo of the game and bought the digital deluxe edition to play it 3 days early, and I have a lot of thoughts about this game. I love it to death, but I also feel a little conflicted. So in this video, we are going to be going over stuff like the concept, the gameplay, visuals, soundtrack, and like all that good stuff. So if you do enjoy this video, be sure to like and subscribe and ring the bell so you get notified for when I post future Sonic content or any content. And with all that being said, let us get into talking about Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Starting off with the concept of Sonic Racing Crossworlds. So the concept of Sonic Racing Crossworlds is to have multiple tracks with the 3-lap structure, but it kind of changes it up in a few ways. So in Sonic Racing Crossworlds, it gets rid of the 3-lap structure, kind of, and in its place, there are now these Crossworlds sections. Basically, the concept is that you have your typical 3-lap race structure, but it's interrupted by a short lap from a random track in the game. And it's random every time, so it keeps you on your toes. So you could be playing in Apotos, and then the second lap you'll enter Kronos Island. And then on your repeat playthrough of that same track, you could find yourself in Huska from Sonic Unleashed. It makes it so that every track is always different no matter how many times you replay it, and there's an endless amount of track combinations because of this. And for the gameplay, it's the basic gameplay you've come to know and love from all the previous Sonic racing games. It controls pretty much the same, and it's just pretty much the same thing. The biggest difference, however, are the gadgets. The gadgets are basically upgrades that you could give to the player to have an advantage in a race. You might equip something that gives you more defensive items, or you could give them something that gives them more attack items. However you want to play the game, you could base your gadget optimization around that and find a way to succeed your own way. It changes how everyone plays the game, and it forces the player to really understand what causes you to lose a race so that you could use better gadgets. And the best tool for winning races in Crossworlds is not completely based on your ability to drive well, but it's actually based on your knowledge of the game's mechanics and gadgets, and it's pretty cool stuff. And so basically, Sonic Racing Crossworlds pretty much plays the same as your typical Sonic racing game. You have cars like speed cars, like handling cars, power cars, and you even got the extreme gear for the boost like type of cars. It's basically the same like how every Sonic racing game is, but the way it changes it up is it has customizable gadgets that change how you play the game, and it has an endless amount of track combinations with the Crossworlds that change up how each race plays. Now for the visuals. I'm actually really disappointed by this game visually. You could tell that Sega did not have a good time transitioning over to Unreal Engine 5 because this game doesn't even look that great. The lighting is just weird. The whole game just looks completely washed and colorless, and even in certain maps where there's a lot of color, it still feels not as colorful as it should. Everything just feels so dead and gray, and there's moments in the game where it just feels like a shameless asset recreation like Kronos Island or Apatos. That map is disgusting to look at. How do you make a map look worse in 2025 than it did in 2008? That doesn't make sense. And then you have the Sonic Superstars map, and this just looks ugly. It's out of place. Like, why does it look like this? The visuals are just like a really mixed bag all around. And this game also has quite a lot of content. So, like, obviously you have your main Grand Prix, but then after you finish all those Grand Prix, you get stuff like supersonic speed and all that. And then you got stuff like the time trials, which the time trials are really, really addicting. It's basically where you have to get to the end of the racetrack as fast as possible, and some of these times to like get the A rank are like really strict or something, so you have to like learn the track and everything to get the fastest amount of time and get the A rank. And even just going for a world record, like from players that have achieved a world record, that stuff is really addicting, and playing with supersonic speeds and the dynamic camera to make racing feel a lot faster than it normally would is really addicting. And all the content in this game is really good, and it even has a race park where you could like customize your own rules, like customize what crossworlds are and aren't available, customize what tracks are and aren't available. You could customize the items, the speed, some of the rules, some of the frenzy events that you get, and overall this game just has a lot of content. It is really good, and I love playing in the race park a lot because I could change my own rules on how I want to play the game, what crossworlds I want, etc. This game has a lot of great content on launch, and not to mention all the crossworld characters that are gonna come, like Minecraft and like Pac-Man and all that. There's still a lot of content in this game, and a lot more content to come in the future, and the amount of content in this game is really good and really fun to play around with. And the part of the game that I'm feeling the most conflicted on is the soundtrack for this game. The soundtrack is like very mediocre, and that's a surprise coming from a Sonic game, but it basically has the same thing as Sonic Superstars, where half of the track in Superstars, or not half of it, a little bit of the tracks for Sonic Superstars were amazing, and then the rest were either just mid or ear-piercing. Now, in Sonic Racing Crossworlds, it's not ear-piercing, but it's still kind of, like, not the greatest. Like, you have some tracks that are just mid or complete, like, garbage, and then you have tracks that are amazing, like, so much fun to listen to. But overall, the soundtrack in this game is, like, very mediocre, and I'm sad to say that for a Sonic game. I've talked about everything I need to for Sonic Racing Crossworlds, so in conclusion, I would give Sonic Racing Crossworlds a 9 out of 10. It's a very good Sonic Racing game, and just a very good racing game in general, and I haven't played much games in 2025, but so far, I'm putting Sonic Racing Crossworlds as my game of the year for 2025. I still have yet to play Silk Song and Ghost of Yote, and like all those other games like Expedition 33, but I'm probably not going to get to play all those, but I will play Silk Song and Ghost of Yote, but until I play those, Sonic Racing Crossworlds is my game of the year for 2025. So if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to like and subscribe and ring the bell so you get notified for when I post future Sonic content or any content, and be sure to go follow my TikTok at SonicEditYT and join the Discord server in the link in the description. Anyways, I thank you all for watching, I love you guys, and goodbye.